today I'm gonna till this. I kept trying to find a way, to record it and let you watch me till it up. But it is so windy right now. And I don't have a tripod that'll hold this camera up and not get blown over. I need some kind of new mount. Then again, this is getting so hot it's about to shut off. The cellar is working fantastic. Even now, it's 88 out here. And down there, you'd still have to wear several layers and a coat to stay in there very long. It is freezing. But I need to get this cleaned up. I mowed it, found a few fence posts I had forgotten about laying on the ground. Fortunately, I didn't hit them with the blades. But till all this in and get it tilled good. First pass. It may not look like it did much, but that's really all you're going for when you're tilling. Just a light till. The next one will go deeper automatically and deeper and deeper. And then you end up with a rather smooth dirt patch. It's 94 out here now. But now I need to let this rest and let the tiller rest. It's been so long since I've run that tiller, my hands are numb. I always hated running tillers and mowers because it would make my hands hurt so bad. Now it just makes them numb. But they're all right. A little break and we'll be fine. Okay, another update. I had been planning on holding off on this one until I had spoken to my urologist. But it is I've got enough information now to kind of say what's going on. I had to have an MRI. I was resisting getting an MRI because they were wanting to send me to Oklahoma City, which is a long ways away. And it meant getting the procedures done without anesthetic and everything. And like the urologist told me, you know, most men go through the procedure and pray to God they never have to go through it ever again. And others are just kind of, eh. I'm probably one of those that'd be like, eh. But anyway, I'd been resisting doing the MRI because I wanted to get everything done in one go so I didn't have to mess with Oklahoma City traffic, because getting to that hospital is terrifying as it can be. So I was just going to get the biopsy the most painful way possible. My cousins found out about that and said no, they were not ever going to let me go through that. They said just give them a heads up, and they'd plan a vacation, and then they'd take me and deal with it so that I'd get the procedure with anesthetic. But they made me promise that I would not just go up there and do it without anesthetic. Said it's not something I ever want to go through. So I guess there's been some people in their lives that have gone through it and are really having nightmares about it. So I got the MRI, and well, it's exactly what I thought it was. BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, not prostatic, prostatic hyperplasia. Is that what it's called? You'd have to look it up. Anyway, it's the, you know, typical thing, affects males, makes things uncomfortable. All the males in my family suffer from that, always. I was hoping that was the one thing I wasn't going to inherit. I did. Man, did I. I don't know how such a little organ could be such a big problem. But I guess it has a very important function overall. Still, it's BPH, not cancer. My urologist kept trying to drill it into me. You know, you could be dead here in a few years if this is cancerous. Just, you've got to get this done. And I told her, you know, all the males in either side of my family start having this issue in their 40s, and I made it beyond that. And I was just wanting, you know, get on top of it before anything, you know, became bad or whatever. Well, the good news is they didn't find anything interesting in the MRI. It was all just absolutely, as they call it, uninteresting. And so all I've got is BPH. So whatever they do about that is what they're going to do with me. And there was a note the other night that said, from the urologist responding back to the radiologist, that she is not recommending a biopsy and will discuss the matter with the patient at the time of the appointment, which is still a month out. So thank goodness I don't have to mess with a biopsy. I'm glad about that. That's a real relief, not dealing with Oklahoma City. But I've got a ton to do, and I'm losing the battle with weight loss. When they upped my losartan dose, and my urologist put me on alfuzosin, it became very difficult to fast. Impossible. Nigh impossible. the losartan I could push through. It just make me feel really sick in the mornings if I didn't eat a little something with it. With the alfuzosin, it abhors an empty stomach. You go from healthy to sick on the floor in 6 seconds. Just terrible. And that's kind of got me a little out of sorts because fasting was working great for me. I'd lost at least, I don't even remember, at least 25 pounds fasting, and it'd come off in such a way that I was thinking about fasting twice a month, long fasts, 48 hours a time, and get the weight off it faster. It would have only taken me probably 4 months to get to a good, healthy weight, and then I just have to maintain it with a intermittent fast. If you don't know much about fasting and you could use a little weight loss, look it up. It has some really good benefits. A lot of the junk that they're talking about on YouTube and stuff, I don't know if there's any truth to it or not, but it really does lower your insulin resistance, and the weight just falls off while you work, exercise, to go about your daily routine, whatever. And I was really counting on that because exercise, walking, and all the heavy work out here, nothing. I still remember my primary care physician, my previous one. I told her, that I was still working to try and lose weight, and she just laughed and said, good luck with that. She basically blew it off like there's just no chance that you can lose weight. Now I see why. As long as you can fast, you can do it. It's not a hard thing to do, surprisingly. Just follow the directions. Drink water every hour. Regardless if you're thirsty or not, just drink water every hour. It pushes off any hunger. And except if you're taking alfuzosin, you'll be throwing that water up fast without food. Anyway, I am healthy. I'm just kind of bothered that I had a good thing going. I wanted to get back down to my normal weight. Because right now, this better not be my normal weight. Let's see. The yellow cord I'm replacing. It's an outdoor cord, but it's just really not heavy duty enough, not meant to be outside permanently. But it's been out here for many, many, many years, and it's still in really good shape. I don't have any issue with it. It's just a good cord. But Amazon sent me a long one to go all the way to my solar system out there, and I'm gonna run it around everything out of the way. But we were trying to figure out the best way to do this. Make a post higher and run it across, or dig a trench that we could, pull it out of. And I priced the conduit needed to run it through it that'd be big enough to get the plugs through. Forget it. Way too expensive. So I thought about those cable ramps, like they use on highways and roads and stuff. And Amazon had some sets by Vivor on sale, or Vivor had them on sale on Amazon. And I bought enough to run from here all the way across. I just got to prepare the ground and make it level for it. I'll have to do some rock chipping here and there, and I'll just run it across it. But these are strong enough that we can run our tractors, vehicles, trucks, everything over it. And since they can handle, I think it's 22,000 pounds per axle, I don't have anything near that heavy. I don't have anything, I think, even half that heavy. Anyway, that'll take care of that problem for now. And it'll be semi-permanent. I just need it where I can get a line to that camper for storage. All the electric and everything in it works. I thought I had sealed all the wasps and everything out, but they found some place to get in. I got to find it. And I bet it's just right here, up here at the front. Looks like I need to screw that front down to some wood or something. Oh, that poor camper's been abused. Speaking of abuse, these dogs the other day, they were out here playing tug of war while I was cleaning up out here. They were down over that way. And I was thinking, I don't have any ropes laying out. And then it finally dawned on me, oh no, it's a snake. They had one of those 7-foot long black rat snakes, and they were on each end of it playing tug of war. And I don't know how that snake held together, but I was sure it was dead. Its tongue was hanging out, looked like a cartoonish death scene. The poor snake, some of its scales were torn, had a little torn area in its abdomen. But I took it away from him. It was limp, and I was getting ready to haul it off and dispose of it. And it came to life and just started moving around like, hey, I'm alive. And so I put it in a clean area in the shade and kept the dogs away from it. And after a few minutes, it started getting more strength back, and finally it just slithered off. Poor snake. The dogs don't understand how important them black rat snakes are around here. We used to think they ate our poisonous snakes, but turns out it's the king snakes that are doing that. But the rodent population, we need all the help we can get. Every black rat snake in the state's welcome to come here and rid us of the rodents. We need to use that. I'm sure you all know what that is. Well, I don't even know if I've mentioned this yet, but it turns out the entire delay, this entire last year, has been because of an absolutely, well, he's just a liar. That funeral director just lied to his teeth all these months. He just kept saying everything was fine, give him 6 to 12 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks. He'd sent the information in again, they'd get back with him in 6 to 12 weeks. Well, eventually we got sick and tired of him because we gave him plenty of chances to get this taken care of. And we called the mayor's office, we called the district attorney, we called a bunch of people. Most of them just gave us the runaround. Even someone at the district attorney's office told us, we'd just have to get a lawyer and sue the state if we ever wanted to see a death certificate. Which is a weird thing to tell a person. And our hands were just tied. We couldn't do a thing at settling all of his taxes and accounts and everything without that death certificate. The judge in the case told us just we could sell whatever we want whenever we want. We just haven't gotten to that point yet. His mom needs the money so bad. But anyway, our problems were just because that funeral director just lied through his teeth. Apparently he's in serious trouble. He mixed up the remains that were to go to 6 different families, and no one knows who is who, and so they're all irate. I wouldn't be surprised if they sue him. I know if my brother's mother wasn't in such a situation, she'd sue him. She is absolutely furious. My dad ain't happy either. But anyway, the results that we have is that when we finally got things done, we called the state representative for that area, and they had it, they had things moving instantly. There's a lot more to this I could tell you that'd be of serious interest, especially the things that the vital statistics department told me versus what they told or did for the state representative. It makes me mad the way they treated me, and they took one call from the secretary of the state representative to get him to do exactly what he told me that he'd never ever do. Anyway, to shorten this up, there was a new girl there at the funeral home that cremated my brother. And it took her 15 minutes to straighten everything out. And she called later that day with a confirmation number, and we had the death certificate in 2 or 3 days. That funeral director that we'd been talking to, his name doesn't show up on any documentation. So I don't know what the heck is going on. We've been trying to track down all of his accounts. His bank let all the bill collectors collect everything until the bank account was empty, so there's nothing there. And I didn't see anything suspicious going on. His investments is what we're trying to track down now. And we'll see. Maybe there's something there, maybe there's nothing. But what I'm pointing out right now, I'm sure you can recognize by now. I know everyone in the world has one of these in their yard. You guessed it, it's a post hole digger. I need to use this thing. It doesn't have to be today. But over there, on that hill I'm pointing at, on this side of those little orange flags, I need to put a power pole in. Well, light pole. Amazon had sent me a solar power remote control night light, a pole light, and a solar powered night vision security camera. And we'd really like to put that out there to keep an eye on traffic that comes up here, because once in a while things get a little strange. It's rare, but it happens. The only issue is this post hole digger usually takes a hoist or an A-frame or at least 2 people to maneuver and get on the tractor. And since I don't have anyone to help me, I'm going to have a lot of fun getting that mounted. It doesn't have the auger on it, so at least that's a lot of weight off of it. The augers are underneath it, and The one I'm probably going to need to use is right there. You see all this mess? There's actually a bunch of good tools in there. This is the shed that the straight line winds blew apart. I really, really want to get this cleaned up, which means building a new, better lean-to shed. And that concludes the second pass. It's already looking pretty good. Right now it's probably tilling about 2 inches deep right now. But after 2 or 3 more passes, I'll probably be down to the axles on that tiller. Oh, I hate farming. Guess the key's too rusty to work. Probably not got a good ground. I don't use a battery on it. It's just so easy to start this one. It's an 8-horse Troy built. I don't know if it's just called a horse or a workhorse. I think it's just a horse. This is their third version. The third version has this engage and disengage deal because you can take this off and put other implements behind it, like I think snow blowers, and I forget what else. This thing's sat in someone's chicken coop for a lot of years. It had seen almost no use on it. Just sat there. We bought it. I believe I put brand new tines on it. They cut really well. It's one of the first engines. All we had to do was put gas in and go. Usually everything we get, we have to take apart and repair. Probably why I know everything in the world about everything. Yes, I'm a know-it-all snob, aren't I? Nah, things, I just look at them logically. They have a logical pattern, so I can fix them. But it has worked fantastic. And just like you saw, that's the proper way to till. Is if you know what you're doing, you're basically just supervising the tiller and not having to do anything. It's hard work following this thing around. But I will admit that I am impressed with how much this does. This thing is old. It's an antique. And we've got a bunch of them that are 6-horse and 8-horse and are much older than this. First generation. I think we've got a second generation. Most of ours are first generation. They quit making these horse models after this one. I have seen far superior tillers out there. Some that are so good you can use them as little tractors to pull things around with, and have dual splines at the back that can be reversed either way, and even dual wheels up the front. But they cost a whole lot more money than this cost us. And there ain't nothing wrong with this. And this is an old Kohler engine. It has just never given a problem. It must have a heck of a flywheel on it, because You pull this rope and it just keeps turning until it's running. Well, that's my tilling tutorial for today. You just stick your machine in the dirt and let it go. When you get tired of it, go in and get a drink. Because, yeah, there's a redneck word, because I finally found the old original okra seed that my parents raised. They loved that okra more than anything. It's called Jake's okra. As far as I know, only Jake's family and us have it. I could easily be wrong. I don't know what all has happened business-wise with them. But it's a very unique okra. It is big. It is not near as slimy as the others. And it doesn't get hard like other okra varieties. It takes a long time for it to ever get hard. So when you get out there, you're getting a real big okra, make a huge mess of it. And they loved it. The flavor is just way better. I never really gave it a lot of thought until I started trying a whole bunch of different brands of store-type okra in freezer sections and stuff. And no. Every single batch was awful. Either the flavor was just horrid or it wasn't good okra to begin with. It had stalks and other tidbits in it. No wonder people wouldn't like okra if they ate that stuff. The okra I'm talking about is just incredible. Now, I had neighbors who would eat it raw. All I could think is, what are you thinking? But they loved it raw. They just go out to the plant, pick it up, wash it, and eat it right then and there. But that's better than those who boil it. I ain't eating boiled okra for nothing. No way. I've been experimenting with a lot of food, but I ain't experimenting with that. No. It's as bad as some of the stuff Deuce and Intercron used to talk about. Yeah. Listen to them talk about food makes you not want to travel the world ever. Just forget that. Give me a hamburger, a chili dog, or something simple, something with flavor, something with, you know, a dead cow or a dead chicken in it, or a dead vegetable. Okay, anyway, that's my plan, is to till this. And the last thing I need to talk to you about is the money. I went to the accountant recently, or my accountant, and she informed me that I didn't owe any taxes on the GoFundMe funds. So that means after buying the tires on the car, which are working out fantastic, and I just really love the balancing job they did. They really got it right this time. I've had them do other balancing jobs on other vehicles, and I've never really been that happy with it. Some of it turned out to be dirt daubers in the drums and stuff, but anyway, this thing runs smooth and quiet. Just really good job. I didn't have to spend as much as I was expecting on it, so there's some money left over. And I spent, I think it was like $460 in taxes for last year, since I didn't make any money. And which is sick, considering that that's probably more than Trump and Elon Musk paid together. But I still had to pay self-employment taxes, even though I didn't do much. So I paid the taxes with the leftover money, and there's still $150 left. I had a plan on what to do with it just a couple days ago, but I forget what it was. Anyway, I just really appreciate you guys. You got me through a tough time, and with what Amazon has been doing for me, and the GoFundMe, I've been able to stretch money further than most people could ever hope to. I've still got a lot of products and tools to test and review. But I've also got some neighbors who need a little help. Nothing major, but I'll definitely help them. It's just stuff that they need done that they just really are not physically able to do themselves. And beyond just cleaning this place up more, I've got one big issue. These aluminum cans. I've got a plan to clean them up. It's slow and arduous and tedious, and whatever you want to call it. But still it works. I've got a good aluminum can crusher, but I don't have a good air compressor. And no, $150 isn't going to buy you a good air compressor. Although I was thinking about putting that money towards one. My little battery air compressor can do it. You just have to give it a break after a few cans to catch up. And I brought the air compressor from my brother's here, thinking, well, it's got to be good enough. It's a 3-gallon. It took it nearly 12 minutes to fill its own tank. It held its air perfectly, but what was a 5-minute job crushing cans a couple days ago took an hour and a half with that compressor. You could only do 2 cans before it would have to build back up to get up to 90 psi. So that's out. I've got our old air compressor, but it's starting to leak out the tank itself. And I need to put wheels on it. I've bought some, but I can't find them. And I think I'm going to end up having to find a replacement air compressor. And I think it takes about, well, it really takes probably $300 or $400 to get one. It doesn't have to be big. It probably needs to be about a 13-gallon or more. And it's got to be able to do probably around 3 CFM minimum. More would recover faster. But it needs to be big enough that, you know, it kicks on well before it gets to 90 PSI. And keep it up there around 150 PSI so that you've always got at least 90 PSI at the tool. We had a serious windstorm, and it ripped that cover that Amazon sent me a couple years ago to shreds. I can still save it, sort of. Just have to put some more straps on it. Looks like the sun got to them. We bought that wood splitter, and it is a powerful, really good unit. We used it about 2 years. That's been it. And dogs are still pains. I think I forgot part of the story. I'll have to edit it in later. If I don't, you can yell at me. Anyway, as I'm saying, I'm tilling this, cleaning it up, because I'm going to revive this 30-year-old or longer seed that I found. It's called Jake's Okra. Now, I explained what the Jake's Okra was. But our last 4 crops of it were wrong. They've been contaminated or something has gone wrong. Because what they were coming up with was some kind of curled vegetable or fruit or whatever the okra is. It was curled and it was hard and inedible. Not one plant was different. But my plan is to clean this up and put some out here and just find a spot in our old field and just put some out there and just let it be. And maybe find another spot and do the same thing. But this is old seed, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years old. But I'm pretty sure that I can revive them. I've been told, no, it's not possible. They've been too dry, too hot for too long. I keep telling people, you know, there are ways to revive hundreds of years old seeds. But they just tell me I'm just nuts and it's not possible. But I started the procedure yesterday, and we'll look at them tomorrow or the next day. I'll put them in this video, and I'll bet we see live plants. It's probably 2 months before time to plant them normally, but we're having such a warm year right now. Been a couple of days since I last worked on this video. I had to make an emergency run up to my dad, and the muffler had fallen off the van. It was hanging there. It's got these wire mesh couplers or something, but I guess it gives it room to handle twists, and I don't know what you call it. I do, I just can't think of the word. Maybe I'm getting dementia or something. Flex. It allows it to handle flex. But all the rubber mounts had gone bad on it, which is a little upsetting since I'd only replaced them a few years ago when we put brand new tires on it. They should have lasted longer. I didn't have any trouble getting that fixed. I sharpened the mower blade while I was up there. I'm hoping we get all this mess wrapped up and get him down here, because I'm tired of him being up there, and it just seems like he gets weaker up there. He'd do better down here where he's got his gardens and lawn to mow and stuff to keep him built up. But at least I've been able to get a lot of work done while he's not here. However, I had a heck of a close call on my way up there. I was at highway speed, 65 miles an hour. There was some traffic behind me, probably 4 or 5 vehicles. And I was on a long straight stretch. I was slightly going uphill, and coming down the other lane was just one minivan. There was no other traffic. And I would have thought they were doing 65. They looked like they were coming at me at just a normal speed. And just out of the blue, they just made this instant left turn right in front of me. There was no braking room, no nothing. Since I already knew there wasn't any traffic, at that moment, I am not the fastest thinker. But at that moment, it was like things slowed down enough, that I realized my best chance was to swerve. And I turned over into the other lane, all the way over onto the shoulder of the road over there. And I just missed his bumper. I wasn't even sure I did miss it, but I did. The guy in the minivan, he just kept going, so I guess whatever. I got back in my lane, sped back up, and went on. If there had been traffic, all I could have done was just slam on the brakes and let it happen, because there was no room, just none. It would have been an absolute head-on. And it wasn't like a few hours before that. I was talking to my dad. He said, well, just be careful of them idiots out there. Well, I just met one of them. Okay, I got a ton of stuff I gotta unload. Got all the tools that I took up there. I've already unloaded my drill driver. I took it just in case I needed it. Took an electrical box and hand tools and a grinder and floor jack and jack stands and stuff. This is an old vintage, I think it's called a Wadle. But something for some World War II collector. I just wanted to research it, but ended up I researched it before I left my brother's house. I got a bunch of stuff in the middle seat. But these tires, the grip they had on the road was fantastic, even in the rain. And they allowed me to miss that minivan with no, well, I want to say they allowed me to miss it with no problem, but big problem, I barely missed it. But it wasn't from any wheel slip or anything like that. If I'd have just tried to slam on the brakes, I would have definitely just nailed him head on. I guess he just thought he was missing his turn or didn't realize where he was. Or he just didn't think straight. You do have to be careful. And it don't matter how careful you are. There's always someone, just like that guy, gonna mess up your perfect driving record. I've been driving for what? About 9 months now. I don't want to mess up my record. My dad had a perfect driving record until one day while hauling hay, this teenager, she was drunk and she was racing her fancy little sports car and just rammed it right into the side of the hay truck. That's it out there with the water tank on it right now. And just plowed right into the large secondary fuel tank. Her car caught fire, but it's pretty amazing that, let's see where I get back there. There wasn't an explosion or anything. My dad and his hay hands got her out of that car. It was obvious she was just drunk as could be. She was the daughter of I don't know if it was a politician or a lawyer or a judge or someone. I think she was the daughter of a judge. Anyway, they made it out like my dad was the one who was at fault. He was turning into a field at the time, and she was coming up behind him, just absolutely totaled her car. The hay truck wasn't damaged, just the fuel tank. A little bit of the body work on the side step, but that was easy to fix. We just took the tank off, didn't really need it. But they made it out like it was my dad's fault. Tried to sue him, and I tried to get him to pay for that new car. But because my dad had witnesses, that didn't go down too well. They tried for several years to make him pay for a car, but eventually, that girl, I think she had enough of her dad, her judge dad, or mom dad, I don't know, mom dad, in this day and age, you never know, but the daughter of a judge, I don't know if it was her mother that was the judge or the dad that was the judge, but whatever it was, eventually, as I understand it, the girl finally told him enough is enough. It was her fault. Stop trying this. My guess is, based on what I can recall, I don't know if it was going to affect like a political campaign or what, I don't know. Not like we were going to throw stones at them. It was a horrible accident. She was drunk. She learned her lesson. And she, as far as my dad knows, was trying to own up to it, but she just couldn't get her parent or parents to accept that she was at fault. Ain't that a heck of a thing? But eventually she had enough of it. She even wrote my dad a little letter. And, I think we've still got the letter somewhere. But she explained, that she has tried and tried to get them to stop harassing him with all that. And she thinks she finally did. Well, third pass. It's looking pretty good. This side always tills a little shallow, but after a few passes, it'll get down there too. But it's a whole lot better than what it was. I'll see if I can't find a picture of that. It is super windy out here. It is getting worse by the minute. This ain't enough to be a windstorm, but still causes problems. If it's overcast, it almost looks like a hurricane is coming through. Probably need another 50-mile-an-hour wind to do that. It's going to get down to freezing today, but it sure is nice right now. I might till this again a little later, but I don't need to. That's tilled up real good. This here I would till more before I use it. And it sounds like my dog has found a bone. Disgusting animals. There's a bunch of turkey vultures up above. Of course, you're not going to be able to see them in that shot, but they're there. The important thing is, let's see if I was successful at a simple revival of these okra seeds. These seeds are anywhere from 30 to 40 years old. My dad has tried to get a hold of the family of the guy who crossbred and created these, and this variety of okra. I've still got dirty fingernails from working under the fan. Have to clean them in a little bit. But here's the deal. If there's none of his family around, there may not be anyone left with this variety of okra seed. I need to research that. This really is, as far as I can tell, the best okra there is. I don't know if I've described that before, but it gets big, it doesn't get curly, it doesn't get hard and woody. You go out there and you get a mess of okra real fast. And our last 3 or 4 crops were not coming out as Jake's okra. I don't know what they were, but they were inedible. And they were from these seeds. We don't know how they ever got cross-contaminated. But these seeds are original seeds. They haven't seen the light of day in 30 or 40 years. And I can see a little bit of color here, so I think we had a good recovery. But this will be my first time opening this since I started this procedure. If it doesn't work, there is another slightly more involved way to revive old seeds. But this, I hope I'm not the only one with these seeds. Let's see here. What do we have here? I'm not sure. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. It's been 3 days, maybe 4. I don't know if that's normal. I don't remember okra seeds ever looking like that. They've gotten swelled up with moisture. I'm a little worried that that's mold. I don't see any sign. Well, I don't think so. Okay, this may be a failure. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these back up. Let them keep trying. I'll have to look on the internet and see if it's common for okra to have this fuzziness. If not, I'm going to try another procedure that should disinfect them and help them get what they need inside to revive the seed. But I was expecting to see these starting to try, and I don't see any sign of that yet.